up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast, I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains at last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Gonna learn the consequence of being incompetent. Mental health is confidence, dreams and some honestness. I'm not here to save the day, that's for you to take away. I could play a million mind games, but instead I say something not illogical, something that is topical. Rub it on and watch it go, make yourself unstoppable. Dreams are irresponsible, but they're always possible. If you just believe, you could be so remarkable.
Thoughts in my head, a collage and they spread. I'll be great one day, going off of my meds. No, I'm not giving up, no, I'm not giving in. I will make it to the top, taking off in the wind. I gotta make it, I'm saving every day to taste it. I'm patient, but my mind, it can hardly take it. I'm chasing a dream that I've had for several ages. A vacant, modern kingdom for the taking.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make it.
Hey guys, I'm so running behind. Hi T-Pex. Hey everybody else that's watching. I need to check. This is supposed to have popped up on Rumble too. I need to see if it did. I had an Amazon order come in just right before I'm live. Let's see. Is it playing on Rumble? Let's look. Let's see. Oh, evidently it is. Yes, it is. Well, what I figured it out. I told y'all the other day it may take me a minute, but I'd figure it out. Y'all, crazy hectic day. Well, equipment. So I was like, oh, let's do it early live because I've got errands to run this afternoon. So I was like, what time? Get this live done. Because I missed Monday. Had a horrible headache Monday. And then we had that storm blow in yesterday. So I didn't even bother. I'm behind. We want to get this book done. How you been, T-Rex? Sorry, I know that's loud, but jump in here. If I didn't ruin the pen. So if you're over on Rumble, thank you for watching. If you're watching the replay or the live, my first time going live, I've uploaded a video. First time live, actually, on Rumble. If you have not watched part one, I would recommend part one. That way you can kind of get a little bit of the history as well in the first part of this and crazy book. How's the new place coming? It is amazing. I'm trying to figure out what to do with so much room. A little crazy and had some fun things coming from that. What I'm opening now. So y'all get a box reveal too. Oh, that's my bathroom stuff. Where is the other that I put in this box? Okay, so that's for the spare bathroom. I had to get some stuff for the spare bathroom. We didn't use the other bathroom other than storage because that other house was so small. I hope my sound is okay. I had a microphone coming in that I could start using, but I guess it was in this orders. Let's see. Got that. Oh, that's the other shelf. Okay. Oh, that's coming tomorrow. Well, okay. So, there's that. Wait for a few more to get in here. Bubble should be on her way. So, it's been, if you know anything about Texas weather, it stays hot. And it's been like 80s until today. And then today we had this front come in and I'm cold. Hey, Amy, how are you? And so I've been cold all day and now I'm hot. So, and I can't find my hair dryer. Y'all, I moved 60 feet. My front door from the other house to this house is like 60 feet. I can't find my hair dryer. I was trying to move all organized. Go figure. It's not happening. So let me, and y'all are going to hear a chick. I have babies that are starting to hatch, and this one is by itself because nobody has hatched yet. And Minnie is stalking it. It's been all nice and quiet until I come in here and got moving around. I guess it's like, ooh, attention. So I don't remember where I was at. I lost my place while we were live the other day. I think I was there. Yes, choose your own reckoning. That's where we were. Got a random question. Do you think Fancy will include a section in her book about the lore of Pez, Rez, and Fez? Look, I don't put anything past her, Amy. I really don't. Evidently, she says that the reason the format on this book is so awful is because that's Amazon's fault, not hers. And that I guess you have to get it from her to get the actual right formatting. I mean, I had somebody tell me challenge accepted. So I guess we'll compare books and see. And by the way, I know she's watching or Mac is watching. I did not go in her live the other day. Closing the door. It must be too loud. I had the office door open. She evidently lost her shit. And because I went in her live and she needed somebody to talk so that she had to keep looking at my picture. You have me blocked, dumbass. Wasn't in your live. My phone went to blowing up. People saying, Fancy just lost her shit because you went in her live. And I was like, I'm not even online right now. It was literally moving stuff. It was busy. I think it was Monday? We were busy and I had a headache and I was trying to get ready to do my live and I just couldn't get this headache to go away. So yeah, damn it, Amazon. Amazon screwing everything up. They did mine. Why did they not my book, but like I ordered everything in the same day. Why didn't everything come in the same day? The same time. Frustrating. So well, I guess we will get into it. We only have a few watching. More will come in or more will watch the replay, I'm sure. And it is early. I don't normally do early lives. I know there's a few other creators live over here on YouTube. Maybe that was where I was at and I didn't leave off on that. I really don't remember where I was at. My fault. I had my page marked and lost my page, so I apologize. Well, we're just going to pick it up right here, and I'm going to try to make sure I mark my page properly this time. This little baby is so cute. Hey, Kathleen, how are you? Hope you're doing well. Look, I want to show you the baby. Watch out, man. Watch out, man. Don't do that. Come here. Come here. No, y'all cannot see the baby. Minnie, get in. Minnie, get. You want to see the baby? Whoa! Oh, and there she jumps. Good thing the computer's not very far. Well, when she jumped again. Okay, she's got a death wish. Raina, get out of that. Get out of the devil's food. That's what y'all hear right now. Little daredevil. Hopefully the others start hatching. Wasn't going to hatch eggs and gave in and hatched eggs. Okay, so let's pick up with this insane book, shall we? I'll try to get it more of it read and not. I've already been warned about stuff in the end of the book that's going to set me off. And I'm trying not to read ahead. I'm trying to read it with you guys. And makes me a little unprepared, so I apologize. All right, prologue. Let's see. Hi, Miss Fancy Pants. How are you, hon? Oh, y'all know what? Right. If anyone would like to come up and help give commentary, there is the link. Feel free to come on up and we can do commentary. All right, prologue from the ashes before the fairy tale unraveled, a prelude to the reckoning. Before there was courtroom exhibits or broadcast cross-examinations, there was a whisper of something wrong. The story did not unravel in a straight line. It split like a shattered mirror. This prologue does not deliver a verdict. It delivers an invitation to question the script you were handed, to unearth the voices that were edited out. I saw something change over there. And to begin the reckoning buried beneath the ribbons. This is not the beginning of the murder. It is the beginning of the myth, and the crow's already watching. By the way, the link to this book is in the description. This is the book written by Fancy Macelli and Amy Mackey, Act 1, Calling Out Truth, a true crime memoir roast of my time to stand, as retold by the people she forgot to mention. Because, you know, Fancy needs to be mentioned in everything because she's the expert. Creating the narrative, the lies and manipulation behind the villainization and erasure of Dee Dee Blanchard. This book here, link is in description. If you want to get the book, follow along. Yeah, she forgot to mention Chat GPT in this, evidently on that part of it, because it's definitely in the other part she does say it was mostly written by Chat GPT, but you know, we can kind of tell it was. Yeah, wow. Turn my phone on mute. Fine. Bubbles, I need to know if I need to share that. That's funny shit. Yeah, she has 3 more coming out. Like, and then she said in her live the other day, and I have that clip because it was funny as hell. For one, she talks about, I just need to upload that so we can play it, because she calls it nonfiction, but then says it's fiction. I can't. And then the reason why there's 3 more books, because it would be too expensive for us to buy it in one book. Well, maybe not do that. Maybe the print should be different. Maybe, come on. People aren't buying that. Surely they're not buying that. No one asked for your help. Did y'all have not seen the newest edition? This is Bug. I was getting ready for market about a month, 2 months ago or so. Well, about a month and a half. And heard this little meow. We thought she was in the dumpster. We found her underneath trash cans. and she had an injury to her tail that has now come off. And she is the daintiest thing. She's finally put on weight, and I am her person. Didn't need a cat, but I wasn't leaving her there. And she can get underneath the door. She's so tiny, and so she gets in everybody's business. Oh, she's much happier with me just holding her. It's all she wants is my attention. She'll be on the computer in a minute. You can't get on the computer because you'll make it go stupid. Okay. You just want me to hold you? That's what she wants. Oh, you're a foster mom to cats, Kathleen. I did that, and then they were foster fails. Well, some of them weren't, most of them were, but that's what I was going to do with her, but I'm way too attached, sadly. And I think it was just that she was so obvious that she had been abused. She was terrified of my husband when he first came home. She's finally doing better. And she has no fear. she caught a rat. I'd had her about a week, and I was on the phone with Dave, and he's going, we don't need a cat. And I'm like, I know we don't need another cat. I have 3. I don't need another one. And I hear this noise, and I look down the hall, and she's got a rat that's bigger than her, and she's tangled. I mean, they're just flopping. The rat terrier went and got it and finished it off, but she was on her own with it. So he's like, oh, I guess she earning her keep. So we have a cat, another cat. Yay me. But yes, evidently I guess, I think the haters are buying the books more than the people that support her. Let's face it. There is some news coming about some of that, but I have to wait to tell you guys. There she goes, getting into everything. So, all right, let's continue. I know a lot of them finished it on TikTok already, and I'm way behind in that, but it's okay. You cannot have that either. Now she wants the chicken food. Prologue, scene 1, introduction, the resurrection begins. Yeah, resurrection. The font is so horrible in this, it makes it hard to read. Tip number 1, Fancy, pick better font. The font is insane. It is hard to read. Not normal. Just not normal for a book. Amy, I no longer love TikTok, so I appreciate you doing this. I have TikTok, so I appreciate you doing this. Oh, well, you're welcome. And the one thing about TikTok is things aren't saved unless you when they go live, it's not still there. You have to clip pieces and put it on there, or upload it. Lord, I can't even speak. So that was the reason why I wanted to do it over here, because it stays. And then I'm also putting it over on Rumble for you new people on Rumble. Because it ain't going nowhere if it does get struck. But she can strike me all she wants. So I'll fight it. I ain't scared. She better have a lawyer to take me to court. And then I'm going to point out what YouTube is about. It's about reviews, how it got its start, commentary. What is her saying? Entertainment purposes, whatever. Don't chew on that, Miss Thing. You. I'm going to make you go in there. She's chewing on the computer cord. You, go play with the dog. Go play with Minnie. All right. Section header. Opening arguments, forensic realm. The realm thing cracks me up. What are we, in Game of Thrones? Filed by Fancy Macelli and Amy Mackey. Filed under Media Mythology. Posthumous prosecution, memoir misinformation. Realm, forensic, real world. Oh my God, your last foster cost $2,000. I mean, I definitely spent that on my animals, but man, that hurts. All right. Now, I can't read if this is feet 1 or beat 1. I've heard some calling it beat. I read it as feet. F-E-A-T. So I don't know which is right. I'm just going to call it feet because it sounds like that's what it would be because it's written like a play. So I don't know. I honestly don't know. That's not my mean and snarky. That is just honestly You can't tell with the way it's written. The freaking font is ridiculous. All right, my time to stand. Oh, wait, hold on. Beat one. The rebuttal they did not want written. My time to stand was hailed as a story of survival. The girl, the illness, the mother turned monster. Hi, cutting board. How are you? But if it wasn't a confession, what if it was a performance? What? Wait, okay, hold on. I read that wrong. But what if it wasn't a confession? What if it was a performance? There we go. Calling out the truth, creating the narrative. Now, mind you, in her title of the book, it's calling out truth, not calling out the truth. So, she can't even get her own title right in her book. Calling out the truth, creating a narrative, the lies and manipulation behind the villainization and erasure of Dee Dee Blanchard is a forensic record-backed rebuttal to the Gypsy Rose Blanchard myth, drawing out sealed court documents, FOIA releases, medical records, and firsthand accounts. This reckoning dismantles the carefully constructed fantasy that painted a murdered mother as a villain. Through courtroom satire, psychological breakdowns, narrative analysis, and first-person reflections from the women who investigated the case for years, this book brings to light what mainstream media refused to show. That Claudinia Dee Dee Blanchard was never given a trial, a defense, or a voice. Inside readers will uncover the truth about the lies embedded in Gypsy's memoir, the media machinery that repackaged murder as empowerment, Lord, the family and the legal players who helped erase Dee Dee's humanity, the weaponization of sympathy, platforms, and public opinion. This is not just a rebuttal, it is a resurrection, and it is the story you were never supposed to hear. Hold on. I have some. Let me just upload this real quick. Let me send this over to the computer. We're going to play this real quick. I just got started, Millennial. I've maybe read a page. So, as she's reading here, or she's written here, the title of this book, this long ass fucking title of this book, Behind the Villainization and Erasure of Dee Dee Blanchard is a forensic record-backed rebuttal to the Gypsy Rose Blanchard myth. Okay. Kitten found the box. So, let's do this. Your screen. Let me open this up.
Another, it is our allegorical tale to show the absurdity. And so
I need that to pause.
ready to put into the next books, and there's other books coming out that we have that are going to be vastly different than these books. So these books have an allegorical tale that goes along with it, and some of you guys have contacted me about this allegorical tale, wanting to.
Okay. Lord. And of course, then the phone wants to ring. All right, so let's try this again. Hot Mess Express over here. Okay, so this was her live the other day. And I grabbed this part because she's talking about here that this is forensic record-backed rebuttal to Gypsy's memoir, okay?
Another, it is our allegorical tale to show the absurdity. And so ready to put into the next books, and there's other books coming out that we have that are going to be vastly different than these books. So these books have an allegorical tale that goes along with it, and some of you guys have contacted me about this allegorical tale, wanting to know who's who. And while we're not going to say, and anybody's not specifically not specifically based on any one character or another. It is our
So this is her being snarky. That's just all that it is. Yeah, allegorical tale is what she's calling it. But it's nonfiction.
allegorical tale to show the absurdity. And so take away from it the actual context, and you might be able to figure out who they are. We are going to be giving you guys that have purchased the books, we're going to give you a guide to their backstories and things like that, so you have that. But it is half made up and half telling the truth, of the story. So it's very theatrical, it's dramatic, and it's a bit different than anything you've ever seen before. Now, our next book.
So there you have it. Yes. Not just her hair and Miss Pants. She looks rough. I don't know if something's been going on. I think she said for the season, but it literally matches the book, in my opinion. Which, I mean, I'm talking about her hair looking like a mess and mine's a disaster, but I can't find my hair dryer. Pardon me, but I can't find my hair dryer. Okay, so now let's continue with this allegorical tale that we have here. I mean, it's written in the beginning, says it's nonfiction, then it's an allegorical tale. Make up your mind, Fancy, what it is you've written. Because I know the things that I were told that are at the end of the book, you should be ashamed of yourself. But, I mean, you'd have to have a heart. It's a comic book, exactly, T-Pex. It is a fucking comic book. Hey, Real Sally's Potions, how are you? All right. Through the courtroom satire, psychological breakdowns, narrative analysis, and first-person reflections. Oh, never mind. Didn't I already read that? Yes, I already read that. Never mind. We did that page. I don't want to reread it. Lord God. All right. Prologue, scene 2. Crownsplain. Crowsplain to me. This font, y'all, this font is horrible. Section header, forensic preface, graveyard shift introduction. Filed by Fancy Macelli and Amy Mackey. Filed under media mythmaking, posthumous erasure, survivor cosplay, realm forensic. It's no use going back to yesterday because I was a different person then. Lewis Carroll through the looking glass. Hey, Bubbles. Feat 1, the preface Dee Dee never got. Before we could write this book, we had to do what most were not willing to do. Look back without flinching, not into a fairy tale, not into a survivor's saga, but into the shadowed corners of a story rewritten while the ink was still wet on Dee Dee Blanchard's autopsy report. The quote is not just poetic, it's prophetic. Because the moment Gypsy Rose told her version of the story, the public just blindly believed her. People who did not question the timeline, who did not ask how a girl in pink wheelchair had secret boyfriends and social media aliases, who did not dig into diagnoses, who did not read the records, who forgot there was ever another side. They stepped through the glass and emerged on the other side of the lie. But before we could trace the deception through courtrooms and screenplays, before we could let the crows take flight, we had to say the one thing no one else would. A woman was brutally murdered. And the world clapped. This is not a book we thought we would write. It's the one that we could not walk away from, not after what we saw and not after what we've read. So my question on that, I have a question, Fancy. Maybe you can do a little short to answer this question. It's an important question. So you were doing the research and digging where people weren't digging, is your claim. And we've all heard you say that. When did that start? Was it when News Nation was going to interview you? Was it after News Nation canceled the interview? Or was it when you did your interview for Killer Couples on ID? Was it when you released the book last year from the podcast? Were you then digging into things that you now claim you were doing? Before or after? Curious. I'm curious. Because your interview on Killer Couples, you were still saying all of the things that mainstream media was saying. When you were going to do your News Nation interview that, yes, Christy got canceled. We've shown that proof. Christy gave me that to share. What were you going to say then? I'm curious. What were you going to get on that interview and say? Because you did tell them that you weren't friendly with the Blanchards and that you had a different tale. But were you going to say these things then? Or were you just still going to be real snarky about Gypsy? Because I mean, I get it. You don't have to like her. I don't give a shit. I don't really like her, to be honest. I'm not the person that I see now, anyways. I'm just curious. When was that? When were you doing that digging? Because you did years, according to this, of digging and research on things that the media, mainstream media, wouldn't put out there. But you were, right? You were. So you said that on Killer Couples? Oh no, I'm sorry. You were still saying that she was an abused girl, and misunderstood and all those things. Hold on. Let me go up here and read what the cutting board. I know this response is a little late, but Amazon clearly states in their guidelines that when you are the publisher are solely that you are the publisher are solely responsible for the formatting. Okay. So Dawn, what you're telling us is that Amazon is not responsible for the formatting of this book and how it looks. Challenge accepted, Fancy Coco. She just begging for us. She just look. She just wants that other $30. She wants another. Is that what it is on the website? Should we look? We could look later. Let's get some of this read, and then we'll look. All right. Not after how many times we asked, why isn't anyone talking about this? So were you asking on News Nation, why is nobody talking about these things? I mean, did you mean to ask that on ID? And did they edit that out? Oh, I get it. The editing process, they cut that part out and didn't put that into the interview. I'm sure is what she's going to claim next. Huh, fans, isn't it? We got you. We got you, boo. We got you. We have spent years untangling a story that was spoon-fed to the public in a polished, palatable bites, just like the book you put out last year, which was the same stuff that everybody's been saying for years, that you now scream is all wrong, but you thought it was okay to go ahead and put it out in a book for people to read, right? Got it. Perfect. Now we're on the same page. Okay. Trauma is entertainment, justice as branding, a killer as a victim. And the real victim left with no defense, no voice, and no legacy. This book begins where the illusion cracked. What follows is not nostalgia. It is, Minnie, leave that baby alone. Now you leave that baby alone. You hear me? Sorry, Minnie's wanting to get the chicken. It is a consequence, a reckoning through the glass to confront the reflection they never expected you to question. You will see names you thought were heroes fracture. You will see receipt. Well, man, she got punctuation on that right. I'm impressed. You will see receipts they hoped were lost resurface. You will see Dee Dee not as a monster, but as a mother. You will see yourself too. Not as the person you were yesterday, but as someone changed by the evidence. Because you have been lied to, and not by just one person, this was a group project. Family, lawyers, media, producers, influencers, all of them helped turn the truth into commodity. And what got buried beneath that? A mother, a diagnosis, a daughter's agency, 1,000 pages of evidence no one wanted to read. So if you came from a redemption arc, you were in the wrong story. If you came for the truth, you were holding it. In our sister series, The Garden of Silent Witnesses, we go even deeper, using Wonderland, Oz, and Neverland to reveal how grotesque the fairy tale has become. Because sometimes the only way to expose a lie is to show how far the fantasy has rotted. This is the book Dee Dee never got, the defense she was denied, the voice that was taken from her and handed to someone else. We are not here to tell you what to believe. We are here to show you what they left out and let evidence call for itself. This is your invitation to step through the glass, but do not expect to come back the same. Fancy Macelli and Amy Mackey. Okay. And yes, if you would like to become a member, they've dropped the link for that. I am going to do a few things on this book over there. Also on my Buy Me a Coffee, I'm going to do a weekly update on this book, a different perspective. All of your support and hitting the thumbs up is a free way to support the channel. I so appreciate you all for being here and supporting me today. TPEX says, it really surprises how many creators have convoluted this case. Some of the alleged creators are just wrong about a lot of things. Absolutely. I think that people have let their prejudice. Gypsy's not easy. She's easy to dislike. Let's just put it that way. And she has lied. And people have forgotten and have just made it a bigger mess. So Bubble says, how do you know that's a damn lie? She absolutely is here to tell us what she says we are to believe. Absolutely. Because that's when I read that, I was gonna respond. If you go into anything she's doing and you correct something she has said and have a different opinion, she's going to lose her shit on you. She will block you. She will do all the things. And how do I know? Been there, done that. Many of our fights were because I didn't agree with her. And I mean, the biggest one was because she wanted me to join with her, with Katie Joy, and turn on Christy. And I don't like Katie Joy. And she got mad and there was a huge fight. And I mean, we heard her when they were doing, Bubbles, what was it that they had done? Was it the billboard? It was the billboard thing they did, and Ryan didn't agree with her. All Ryan said was, look, I don't agree with this. I'm not okay with this. I don't want to be a part of this. And she called her a cunt. I mean, immediately, because Ryan didn't agree with her. Ryan was a good friend to her. Granted, a lot of us have been good friend to her. Fancy don't know how to be a friend to anybody else. T-Pex says, regardless of how we feel, she served her time. She isn't the best person, but she doesn't deserve the truth being told instead of theories and just lies being put out. Absolutely. I think it was worded wrong. As I was reading, I was like, wait a minute. I'm trying to figure out how you were trying to word that. It's fine. We'll get it. You can be a victim and a perpetrator all in the same. And did Gypsy plan her mother's murder? Yes, she did. Did Gypsy assist in that? Yes, she gave the knife. She did all the things. She let him in. She paid for him to get there. She planned it. All the things. She had her hand in it. Were there things that she told Nick that convinced him to do the murder? Besides what we've seen? Maybe, because there were phone calls. Could she have said that her mom was dying and that's why? Possibly. But I want to see the written proof before I'm going to sit here and go, that's exactly what she did. She told him she was pregnant and she lost the baby and it made him mad, that her mom was dying. It was a mercy killing, all of those things. I want to see it in writing. Show me in writing where it was said, because all of the stuff we have on them is in writing. It would have been repeated somewhere else. I know Nick has told his psychologist that, but I'm sorry, still need to see some proof. T-Pex, okay, she corrected it. Gypsy served her time regardless how we feel. She should be left alone and her story not be skewed. That's better. Well, Amy, look, you don't have to like people that I like or don't like. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't like Ryan or dislike Ryan. I mean, Ryan and I are just creators on the app, basically. Shit, I stepped away for a minute. Now I don't know what Brandy needs proof of. I need the proof. And you might, if it's out there, you'll find it and you'll give it to me. I know. I want to see the written proof where Gypsy told Nick that her mother was dying and this was a mercy killing, and or about being pregnant, and that is why. Those things that are now being claimed is what was said that helped him want to do the murder. I need those things. If you have those, millennials, send them to me. Millennial's good that way. If I have questions, I always ask her, okay, what am I missing? And she sends it to me. Or she gives me a call and we talk about it. Prologue scene 3. Choose your own reckoning. Section, oh my God. Same stuff as the other one. Filed under nonlinear delusion, narrative contradictions, sympathetic cosplay. The realm is forensic again. Millennial says, I think I've seen something where she told him she was pregnant, but I don't remember ever seeing anything about a mercy killing. See, I'm the same with you on that. I remember seeing something about a pregnancy, but then they say they never actually had sex until after the murder. So I don't know. I don't know what's true. I don't know that it really matters. In the end, he made a choice. Sorry, he made a choice. They say history is written by the victors. This one was ghost written by a girl with a pink pen, a performance degree in pity, and a script that changed every time someone turned the page. Fancy, are you talking about yourself right there? What page number? Blank. Page blank. Gypsy controlled Nick through manipulation. She planned and made the murder possible, not a mercy killing. I agree. I agree with that. Didn't always agree with that. And y'all know that. But I do agree. It's page blank 999. Because they're all blank. I don't know. I need to go through and number them myself. Myself. There we go. Lord. That pink pen, a performance degree in pity, and a script that changed every time someone turned the page. I feel like Fancy script changes every time she turns the page. Gypsy tells the story of her life like it is a choose your own adventure. And she wants you to know, guys, that that's there because it's bold. Miss Fancy Pants, please be sure to complete your workbook section of the or else. Y'all are killing me. I need to quit reading chat because I'm getting all over the place. If you think Dr. Steele knew Gypsy was faking, flip to the CPS call on page ... Did I read this the other day? If you are ready for her to fake being tied to a bed but forgot which boyfriend it was, just close your eyes and point ... Sorry, I think I read this the other day. The problem is sometimes even she does not seem to know where the story is going. The costume change, the timelines collapse, the fake tears come on cue unless she forgets her line. Each scene of calling out the truth is not just a rebuttal, it is a reckoning. You will follow the scent of the spectacle through fractured reflections, forensic dissections, and wonderland whispers. Tracking the birth of a myth, the manipulation of a media empire, and the erasure of a mother they told you not to mourn. Whoever said not to mourn her? That's right. I think this is where I stopped the other day because we were talking about that. Prologue scene 4, how the trial proceeds. Can somebody teach her how to write prologues? Hello, into the weeds. Can somebody please send her a book, an audiobook? Give her an audiobook on how to write a prologue. For those of you writing books, do not do prologues like this. Just saying. Oh, section header, reader orientation, narrative map. What the fuck? Filed by Fancy Macelli and Amy Mackey. Filed under structural disclosure, narrative strategy, trial architecture. The realm is hybrid, forensic, allegorical. It is too early for alcohol. Feat 1, trial architecture. This book spirals like grief, like trauma, like truth clawing out its way of a body bag. This book just spirals, period. What you hold in your hands is a first act of many. Each one follows a path of unlearning with receipts in hand and feathers at your feet. Letters we wrote instead of screaming. From the mushroom ring, the morgue, and the margins, voices who refuse to stay silent. The docket opens, exhibits extract contradictions, cross-examinations, and forensic takedowns of every rewritten line. Garden of silent witnesses, petals who remember, crows who refuse to forget, the voices they edited out of the fairy tale. Oh, Fancy, you didn't get your name in there again. I'm sorry. So sorry. Forensic sweets and bone shards. Clinical insight, psychological reveals, diagnostic distortions dissected. I'm not even going to try to make out that sentence. I'm just not. Reflections from the gallows. Where the record turns personal, where our story enters the frame. Books of bones, final proof, final call, the burial ground of every myth they try to sell you as fact. A rose by any other name. In the courtroom, we respect the sensitivities of the accused, since murderer makes her so vexed, we will try gentler terms. Life ender, truth eraser, mother subtractor, blade bearer. We will see if dressing the deed in softer syllables makes it smell any sweeter, or if the stench still seeps through every euphemism. This is not a clean-cut mystery. It is more like a fun house of mirrors, a sympathy-soaked stage show, a murder rewritten as myth, and you are the holder and red pen now. So choose wisely, because once you flip the first page, nothing looks the same. You wrote a memoir, we wrote the rebuttal. Each book will be a direct annihilation of Gypsy's words, one chapter at a time, just like she annihilated Dee Dee in death and in name, filed, feathered, and fiercely fused by the crows. Need an edible to digest the look. My husband did bring me back a vape. But I got errands to run, so we ain't going there just yet. Can someone please teach Fancy how to write a book? Please. You would think as many times as she's done this, she would have it down by now. But, you know, I'm going to buy a red pen today. So this header reads the same as the others. It's prologue, scene 5, cast and courtroom sidebar. It's identical to the one before. No, somebody tell her to stop writing in books. Feat 1, realm 1, the hollow root. God, this font. Court summons 1, the court of the painted roses. Allegorical courtroom, symbolic testimony, satirical trial. Where metaphors testify and the truth wear disguises, the grapple may be imaginary, but the stakes are real. Members of the jury, a courtesy reminder. All participants in the proceedings have been assigned stage names, a borrowed identity, if you will. This is not to protect the innocent, it's to keep the lawyers from circling. Oh, Fancy. Are you afraid somebody's going to sue you? I kind of hope the family does, to be honest. Stephanie, hello. When we started, I wish I would have known how many times she repeats herself. I would have kept a tally. I may go back and do that. We may need to do that because this is crazy. In these pages, you will not see the ones stamped on birth certificates or court dockets. But every alias carries enough of the truth for you to follow the trail through their words, their deeds, and the fingerprints they left on the evidence. If you wish to know who was who, simply match the mannerisms, the motives, and the mess they left behind. The aliases may be different, but the crimes, the quotes, and the contradictions remain exactly the same. Consider it your first exercise in evidence matching. Evidence-matching what? Pay attention to the details, and you'll know exactly who's who and what's what. After all, a change of name doesn't change the role they played. Feat 1. Oh, wait, feat 2. Sorry. Look, is it feet, beat, or boat at this point? I don't know. I'm seriously asking because the font. Who's who of the hollow root? Allegorical, primal vein. Tier 1, pre-everything. The hollow root primal vein / mythical infrastructure. The primal vein. Can't do this no more. It's driving me crazy. There we go. Oh, that's better. I think it's beats. Okay. Well, I know in play they call it feet, so I don't know. It's just frustrating. No, I have a long way to go. This is how much of the book I have left. I've done that. Beneath the garden, deeper than roots can drain, lies a chamber without memory. I'm going to start over on this real quick, but I just want to point out, this is actually written in paragraphs, not like a weird play thing. Sort of. Let's see how it goes. Oh, that's part of her chat GPT. Oh, maybe. Maybe. I didn't think about that. Beneath the garden, deeper than roots can drain, lies the chamber without memory, yet older than all remembering. It is not a place, though the stones seem to breathe, nor a time, though the air tastes of beginnings. The old ones call it the womb of all records. For every tale, every deed, every whisper is first quickened here, still blind, still unborn. Here the air moves like the rise and fall of a sleeping giant's chest, drawing in all of the might be, breathing out all of that could have been. The walls are not walls, but a skin of listening darkness. The chamber does not keep stories, no more than the sky keeps birds. Instead, it fills them long before they have feathers, before they even know they will fly. In the heart of the chamber stands the observance, neither king nor servant, neither scribe nor voice, but the first witness. It dwells in the stillness that came before the first word was ever spoken. They say it once heard the first silence, the one that trembled like a drop of water before it falls. And here too, in the unmoving dark, dwell the silent witnesses, keepers of the first, the last truth. They are not called lightly, for they move only when the lies of the word have grown so vast they threaten to strangle the roots of the garden itself. The weeds dance between both veils, the real and the delusional. When they rise, the falsehoods of kings, thieves, and even the wind are weighed, and all masks fall away. The primal vein is the root cavern and the memory long of the world. Without it, the garden would grow aimless, the rivers would forget their banks, and the stories would be born dead. With it, all things remain possible, even the impossible. Okay, so I'm not the only one that's totally confused by what I just read, right? It was a fever dream. it it reads like a poem, but no. So basically, what you're saying, Miss Fancy Pants, they were and where beat is used in writing. Okay, I don't know. Okay, beat 3, the indictment of the hollow crown. The ledger of the silent witness. Once upon a ruin in realms where innocents were. I want to read this like Game of Thrones. I'm not even gonna lie. Once upon a ruin in realms where innocence wears teeth and monsters wear lace. And all these stitched together kingdoms of dreams and nightmares. They're gathered at court not to deliver justice, but to dissect it. These are not the painted saints of bedtime stories. These are the rotted errors of forgotten kingdoms, dragged into the dock where the wonderland Oz and the shadow alleys between. They meet in rebranding land, in the sanctum of the cult of the Lulus, where truth is bartered like contraband and memory is a weapon. Here, each role is a mask and each mask is the crime. The prosecutor's hat hides a blade. The co-counsel coils like a silken parasite. The timeline keeper ticks away the alibis, and the judge's gavel breaks bone as easily as wood. The witnesses, 3 black feathered sisters, do not speak unless the lines have swollen so large they threaten to burst the realm apart. The names you see are the only truths you'll be given. The rest is for you to decide. Who spun the lies, who fed them, who in the end will be devoured by them. Before you lies the court's current roll call a record, not of heroes and villains as the bards would have you believe, but of the twisted, the forgotten, and the quietly dangerous. With names as strange as riddles, titles heavy with accusation, their true selves are known only to those who can see through the ink. Guess if you dare, which soul wears which skin, which name is an allegory, each role a key to a deeper crime in the story's marrow. Don't be fooled by them bards. Bubba says you could just rip out the first half of the book, honestly, because you're never going to know what it says, but she says it over and over. So role, we have prosecutor, and that is absent Rosemary Hightop, the Hatter. That's the prosecutor. Co-counsel, Tisiphone Lysandra Chrysalis, the caterpillar. Narrative archivist, Tangi Amaretha White Evil, the White Rabbit. Judge Fidela Eternity Wrath. Witness, Petunia Verity Cawington, Ruby Begonia Cawington, and Violet Darkly Cawington. Others, algorithms and propaganda plants. Filed evidence includes symbolic insertions, surreal trial vignettes, satirical reflections and metaphorical driven analysis. How was anybody supposed to understand this book? What the fuck was that? Exactly, millennial. That's what yes, what the fuck was that? I'm looking at it, and that's my thought as I'm reading it. T-Pex, this girl, I am a wall. Me too. Here's the thing. If you want people to take you serious with something like this, you wouldn't give these names that are so asininely insane that people could understand it. Like, if she'd done the prosecutor, the Hatter, counsel, the caterpillar, narrative, the white rabbit, we could go here and go, okay, we get it, but we have these names. Absinthe, rosemary, high top. What? Why? What's the purpose? What is the purpose of that? To add confusion? Okay, you succeeded. If that was your goal, Fancy. Millennial says, Fancy wants to be a theater kid so bad, but just isn't. Oopsies. Missed again. Look, it's making me itch. Okay, let's see if we can continue. Round 2, the court of public opinion. Real life legal insert, forensic review, prosecutorial reckoning. Filed not in fantasy, but in filings. We can't change the names just like we can't change the FOIAs. This is where court records, FOIA documents, and legal truths confront the media myth. So, okay, so we have the roles that I just read, right? The prosecutor, co-counsel, narrative archivist, judge, witness, and others. We have new roles over here. Prosecutor, evidence base, witnesses, and opposing forces. And they're whole different characters. Okay, hold on. When she met who? Let's see. Hold on. What did I miss? Was she in school for real when I met her? No. When I met her, she was doing by proxy. She went back to school in 21 or 22 for forensic psychology. She hasn't finished that. In my opinion, she hasn't finished that because Amanda no longer lives with her doing the homework. But, you know, there's that. Give me a headache. Hey, Boston. This right here. What is so hard about just saying what happened? For fuck's sake, F, you are nuts. Yep. Now I'm got beauty school dropout in my head. Beauty school dropout. Okay. So the prosecutor now is Fancy Macelli as herself. I'm allergic to the book, so allergic to this book. I'm not even going to lie. Evidence-based, FOIA records, text, court filings, medical documentation. Witnesses, whistleblowers, medical experts, legal commentators, opposing forces, media machinery, legal narrative collapse. None of this makes sense. Yes, she'd already dropped out of theater school by then. When I met her, her and Tori had already done that Project Sins. It had been about a year or two before that when that kind of went south. I met her in May of 2019 in Facebook groups. I didn't know what her real name was until Natasha had put it out there. I'm like, who the fuck is April Johns? And then she was like, that's me. And they're just being, That's how I found out about who she really was. She had become a network executive by then. Yes, she was taking classes. She did do some stuff with forensic psychology. According to Amanda, Amanda did that stuff for her because she'd already taken the class. But she doesn't have a degree. She doesn't have any of that to show. So there's that. But I mean, we have, I don't understand why we have two separate prosecutors. I don't understand this. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know how to look at this and try to figure out how to explain it to you guys. I want to make a slideshow. All right. The next beat. Guidance for the reader. If the tone gets theatrical, you are in the allegorical courtroom. All of it's theatrical. If the footnotes get formal, you are in the real mock trial. If the metaphors start testifying, do not panic. That is just absent cross examining the timeline again. Narrative opening. She was an American fairy tale, or so they told us. A whisper of a girl in a wheelchair, a child trapped in a sick bed. Her teeth were rotting. Her body was shrinking. Her story, we were told, was heroic. But there are sides to every fable, and the truth has thorns. Prologue scene 6, the woods, entry 1, the girl in the glass garden. Oh my God, another section header. They call us invasive. Okay, introductory sprout. Sorry. They call us invasive, unruly, uninvited. But weeds. Oh, this is going to be fun to read because it's in one of these things to where you can't hardly read it because of the picture. Again, ChatGPT did nice work with pictures, just saying. Right, scene 6. We haven't even got to the scenes yet. We're done like 500 fucking prologues at this point. Sorry, if you don't like F-bombs, if you're new here, I drop them often. I apologize. But weeds only grow where truth has been trampled. We do not climb the trellises of praise. We curl up from the cracks, and we remember what the roses were forced to forget. This is the garden of silent witnesses, and we are the weeds. We have watched the petals fall. We have heard the roots whisper. We have studied the mulch where myths were composted into content, and now we are ready to speak. Beat 2, usurping the tale. You're not too late, but the truth almost was. They crowned her quickly, the girl in the glass garden, the usurper queen, a frail bloom spun from the pity in the press releases, wielding a pink script like a sickle. They said she was brave. They said she was not sick. They said that she was good enough for a Hulu deal and a hashtag. But we watched what really happened. We watched the morning orchid be cut down before she could bloom twice. We watched the boy with the mind of a child be sold as a monster to make room for the merchandise. We watched Gyp Media, Valeriane Crowley, the usurper queen, rise not from survival but from performance. The pink script was never for healing, it was for hiding. If it were the microdeletion vanished, where the mother's name got scratched out, where every court record was replaced by a soft focus filter and a cosplay crown. So no, you are not too late, but you are damn lucky you got here when you did, because the garden is talking now and the weeds, we were never meant to be pretty. We were meant to be persistent. And we remember the truth does not bloom on a film set. It grows in the dark, between the roots and under the rot. So welcome, grab your gloves, because the pruning starts here. And the usurper queen, she has already rewritten the soil once. We will not let her do it again. All right, what am I missing up here? Let me go. What did Boston ask? That's why I feel like millennial that she's writing about into the weeds every time she says that. Is this book with all the medical? Is this the book with? I don't think so. I just, she could have written this with what she knows and what we all know, and like compared what Gypsy has said with what we have proof of, and it gone a whole lot better. I think I could have respected that in a book. Not this weird mess that we're trying to make sense of, that people, like all of us that have been here, some of us from 2019 on, who know this story and the people, we can't understand it. How do you expect people that have watched a few things on mainstream media to understand what the hell we're reading? Come on. Fancy pants. Oh my Lord. Prologue scene 7. We're on scene 7, guys. I don't know that we've had any scenes yet, but hey. Pink Script Publishing, LLC, official partner of the Throne of Truth Restoration Project. Section header, satirical market insert, allegorical PR dossier. Found by Brietta Slenderella Gasliet von Objectionee. Filed under cult messaging, commercial myth weaving, pink script propaganda. The realm is allegorical, courtroom intrusion. I pray for the innocent people that try to read this because they want to know what the hell's going on. Don't. Just don't. Just don't. Let us suffer for you because, my God. Beat 1. All hail the usurper queen. Jet Media, Valerie Marie Crowley. Have we added to the name? Sovereign of the Silence. Survivor of the Crown of Thorns. First of her name in the Book of Pink. Oh, there we go. I told y'all she's trying to be like Game of Thrones. Now accepting pre-orders for justice, restored to its rightful queen, signed in the ink of her innocent. By Brietta Slenderella Gasliet von Objectionee, editor-in-chief, lead counsel, keeper of the pink flame. They called her a liar because the truth frightened them. They called her a murderer because the throne feared her justice. We call her queen. I guess she's talking about the Gypsy supporters. I don't know. She told me I was going to be in one of her books. I'm kind of bummed that I haven't been. Kidding. Just kidding. Save yourself. Sometimes it feels like she is talking in another language. Hard to hold my attention. Sorry, trying. I get it, Kathleen. Because it's not cohesive. If she would write it all in the poem thing, we could figure out how to go. If she would do in the actual play with normal names, we could figure it out. But it's this back and forth of trying to be legal and then trying to be in the realm. And there's no cohesion in this book anywhere. Apparently she told lots of people they were in this book. That's why she won't tell anyone who the characters are. Yep. Well, she evidently wrote in one of her books something about it. One day her and Niall sit and drink a glass of wine over everything. I don't know. I have no desire to have a glass of wine with her. She's proven who she is time and time again, and I always fall for it. I mean, do I fall for it? I mean, I always knew, even when I made friends with her last year or made up with her last year, I knew where it was going. Why I didn't change any of my story with her, but I can't. So this goes nowhere. Like they call, let's see. Oh, beat 2 of the 500th time. Limited edition. Yes, I think F is the Mad Hatter. I think. Order. Let's see. She says over here. Because remember, there's 2 different prosecutors. Prosecutor Absinthe, Rosemary Hightop, the Hatter, and then Prosecutor Fancy Macelli as herself. So I think she said on her live the other day what her, Mac, and her daughter Sarah and Abby are in the book. Because her daughter Sarah and Abby are both writing in this, evidently, or part of it. Because now Abby wants to be a part of all of it because she's been there for all her life, basically. Order. The Gospel of the Glittered Guillotine. Forgive me, Daddy, for I have not sinned today, and receive autographed copy in trauma font, numbered and blessed by the Queen herself. Many victimhood crown, keychain, one size fits all devotees, certificate of loyalty to display in your home, office, or courtroom galley. Set to spontaneously combust if your loyalty becomes in question. And don't forget Media's first book, Litany of the Lethal Lullaby, Depositions from a Designer Victim, now available on used books nobody ever wanted or needed, where they pay you to take it home and, of course, allow free book burns to get rid of the stench. Yeah, she's a prosecutor in this book. The facts don't want you to know. Inconsistencies are the natural evolution of a living truth. Diagnoses vanish because healing is real. Abuse is only recognized when brave women choose to monetize their pain. A portion of all proceeds will go directly to the Throne Fund, ensuring the Queen is the Queen's rightful restoration to her story center. What the hell? The submission was rejected by Widow Rue, curator of Truths Too Bitter for Sugar. The ledger will not be used to sell crowns made of lies. My God. Calling it a book is taking some serious creative liberties. Exactly. So then we have this beautiful picture. I showed it the other day. I mean, I like it. I do like it. It says treason against the Queen. The crown of victimhood. I can't read the rest of that. I mean, what the hell? This is so into the weeds. I feel that. Yes, it is very weird. Very, very, very weird. Completely strange. Prologue Scene 8. The pink-stranded rebuttal from the cult of the Delulus. Silence is treason against the Queen. Cult section header, Cult Dispatch, Loyalist Broadside. Filed by the Cult of Delulus, filed under Counter-Narrative Devotional Propaganda Allegorical Press Release, Realm Allegorical Courtroom PR War. We, the faithful of the Cult of the Delulus, stand united against the censorship enforced by Widow Rue. The ledger claims to honor all stories, yet it refuses the one story that matters most. By denying our words, Rue has confirmed that we've always known the Queen's persecution is real. Her enemies are many, and her truth is too radiant for their shadowed halls. To our loyal readers, keep your crowns high, your scripts pink, and your wallets open. The Queen will speak with or without their ink. What? I don't know what I just read. Silence is treason against the Queen. Rue's rejection exposed. The truth. Official statement of the Cult of Delulus. Official statement of the Cult of the... she literally puts that on there twice. I'm not even kidding. Look, Bubbles, y'all finished this book. What did y'all do the other night? 4 or 5 hours? Like, I can't do it for that long. Like this is crazy. This is utter insanity. Like I said the other day, Fancy operates in chaos, and that's why she's written this way, because to her it makes total sense. I don't even know how that can make total sense to her. This is the most chaotic thing I've ever tried to read in my life. Prologue, scene 9, the letter we wrote instead of screaming. Section header, First Reckonings, dual confessional, filed by Mac and Fancy. Filed under emotional excavation, narrative delusionment, media misfire, realm forensic. Reckonings in the mushroom ring. It's worse than reading the emails. Yes, I agree. Mac, question everything, especially the parts that comfort you. I used to think I understood delusion. I thought I could spot it, wrap it in paint tool, or light up on an HBO screen. Lit up on HBO. Okay, hold on. Let me redo that because I just totally fudged that up. I used to think I understood delusion. I thought I could spot it, wrapped in pink tulle, or lit up on the HBO screen. Spinning tales too wild to be true. But the thing about delusion is that it does not always scream. Sometimes it whispers sweetly, persuasively, and it comes wearing the face of a child, or a victim, or a daughter. And suddenly everyone stops asking questions. I have spent the last year drudging through the underside of the story, the rot beneath the fantasy. It is not glamorous. It is not viral. It is not what gets you trending, but it is where the truth lies. See, narratives like gypsies do not grow on clean ground. They need the right soil, trauma, media, ignorance, and silence. And once they sprout, people stop pulling at the roots. They are too enchanted by the flowers. What is wild is how quickly we mistake performance for pain, how eager we are to diagnose dead women and glorify murderers. If their mascara is running and their backstory fits the trending aesthetic. We do not ask why someone lies. We ask how we can turn it into a docuseries. But I am not here to moralize. I am here because I care. Because at some point, someone must sit with the ugly, with the manipulations, with the contradictions that make no sense, unless you start looking through the lens of psychology, not drama. This is not a murder story. It's a mental health story. And it has been mishandled at every turn. You do not need to believe everything I say. In fact, I hope you don't. Question it. Ask better questions than the ones we have been fed. Demand more from your empathy. Stop confusing understanding with excusing. You asked me who I am. I am the one sitting in the mushroom ring asking, are you sure you want to go down that hole? Because once you do, there is no coming back the same. So hats off to Mac. Mac, that was actually nicely written. It's understandable. It was not weird. That's very nicely written, to be honest. I like what Mac had to say there. I like how she wrote it. Now, let's see if we can continue that. The soul beneath the spectacle. Oh, God, this is from Fancy. We all mad here, but I took notes. Did you do your homework? Let me tell you a story, but not the one you have heard, not the one sanitized for streaming deals or sprinkled with pastel pity to make it go down easy. I am not here to coddle you with comforting delusions. I am here to shatter them. For 8 years, I have walked this maze, pulled records, interviewed ghosts, read lies dressed as memoirs. I have seen what happens when the world decides who the villain is before they ever ask a question. I have seen a mother turned into a meme, a daughter into a damsel, and a murderer into a movement. But I have also seen the cracks, the medical files they do not want you to read. The psychological diagnosis ignored. The FOIA documents buried. The receipts that tell us different story. A story of a girl with a rare genetic disorder, a father who vanished when it was inconvenient, and a media machine that needed a martyr more than it wanted the truth. They say Dee Dee had Munchausen by proxy. They say Gypsy was abused. They say Nick is a monster, and I say prove it. This is not just a true crime story. It is a case study in mass delusion. It is about the danger of narrative when it becomes gospel, about what happens when a generation raised on fairy tales is handed a tragedy and decides to rewrite it with glitter and blood. I am not here for redemption. I am here for reckoning. So if you are ready, step through the door, but do not expect to come back unchanged. The goth girls of Wonderland. Truth does not whisper, it calls. And just when we thought we had the whole story, the weeds whispered louder. I'm going to mark this. So Dawn, when you get my book, you'll see my messy writing. Private. Okay. When I have something. Oh, Into the Weeds. Thank you for that super sticker. Thank you so much. You guys are awesome. Lord, I'm getting a headache. I'm not even lying. I mean, that was better written. It was better than the other stuff. If she would have written the book similar to that, I don't think we would sit here with headaches, taking days to go over. It's crazy. Into the Weeds. I hope y'all are doing good. I haven't seen much. Of course, I haven't been on a lot. I've been in Cromwell Land watching that fiasco go down in flames, but so I haven't kept up with much of everything else. And what I see happening in the Gypsy verse is happening in Cromwell right now. It'll be there before too long. Girl, okay. From the woods. Weeds. That's weeds. It looks like O's. It looks like O's, but it's E's. From the weeds who were never pulled. Garden witness testimony from below. Followed by the weeds. Sympathy performance. Garden interpretation. Original myth revision. Allegoric. I'm just going to quit reading the section header stuff because it's stupid. Stupid. The weeds speak what was buried, what was rewritten, what they watched. She was not the girl in the glass box. She was the one writing the playbill. Everyone thinks the story starts with the murder, but this one, it starts with a pitch, a spotlight, a sad smile, and a girl who practiced her lines before the first body cooled. We watched the tail bloom, thorn first, the morning orchid buried before the press ever printed her name, the usurper queen crowned in pink pity and press passes, and the public, they bought their tickets before they checked the cast list. So no, this is not the climax. This is the setup. The part where the camera rolls and the audience claps for the villain they have been told to love. She did not flee from abuse. She fled from evidence. And she did not do it alone. See, that's right, Into the Weeds. She even said you'll speak the truth. See, y'all can use that. I'll send you a copy of that page so you can put that up. You know, with her C's and D's, C and D's and bullshit. Oh, okay. I'm not reading all of that because that's the same shit repeated over and over again. The morning orchid was not the monster. The morning orchid was not delusional. She was deliberate, and the performance did not start with the press. It started with the first lie. File description. The morning orchid was not the monster in the fable. She was the gardener, the one tending a fragile bloom, genetically marked, developmentally delayed, and already learning the power of pity. It was the girl who learned to wilt on cue, the girl who hid pruning shears behind her back while pointing at the one who watered her. This was not about liberation. It was about lighting. Nest note. She did not escape the glass garden. She redesigned it with better lighting and a script rewrite. Sarcasm sidebar. Pedal to the metal. The Endless Story Channel presents Gaslight the Musical, now streaming with a side of unearned forgiveness. The Wheelchair Waltz, but only on weekdays. I tell the truth, but what would we sell? Baptized in blood and branded in blush. Coming soon to a sympathy stream near you. Crosplain it to me, the usurper queen, a term coined by the Weeds to name the performance artist formerly known as Jit Media. Term, the usurper queen, a stylized moniker coined by the Weeds for the girl who seized control of a narrative that was not hers by erasing the one who planted it, wield sympathy like a sword and the media like a mirror, often seen in proximity to pink pens, altered timelines, and abandoned diagnoses. Origin, botanical inversion of royal lineage. The throne was not inherited, it was stolen. What they buried with the bulbs, the curse that did not fit the script, the walking witnesses who were never supposed to remember, the silence of a mother framed in one color but never given her own voice. Filed by the Weeds, grown in grief, raised in resistance. That I've had a knot here last 2 days. It's getting worse. Like, can we just have a fucking book? I thought y'all said it got better or worse or something, but it just seems to be continuing. Okay, the Garden of Silent Witnesses. Before we begin the broadcast, you need to know this. This is not just our story. It is theirs too. Garden of Silent Witnesses, feet 2. Violet Darkley Cawing, the mourner with the ledger. She keeps count of what was lost, of who forgot, and every apology that never came. Petunia Verity Cawing, the one who sees through pity. She archives the receipts, holds the contradictions to light, and reads between the scripted lines. Ruby Begonia Cawing, the rage and reckoning. Unapologetic, younger than she should have to be, she does not speak softly and she demands answers. Dahlia Thorne, the dark bloom, she rises from the places no one visits, holds stories with thorns sharp enough to draw memory. She speaks for the unfinished ending. Marigold Finch, the media mortician. She tracks and edits the voiceovers, the headlines, the changed shape for syndication. She names every lie sewn into the broadcast. The Weeds, they do not bloom, they crawl. They whisper from under the hospital beds, the police station benches, the broken elevators, FOIA clerks, nurses, former friends. They saw it, they remember. They have been waiting. I'm gonna have to make a video. Coco! Oh, there's a shirt that's got a call on it that says Coco! Oh, Amy says, I'm sorry, but the word receipt should not be used in a book when talking about proof. This is driving me crazy. Well, I mean, 1 minute nonfiction, 1 minute allegorical. She can't make up her mind what she's trying to write here. I mean, she just can't. If she wanted to write nonfiction, she should have used names that made sense. Granted, you can't use the names without their permission, but you could have done something easier to follow than this weird shit. My throat hurts. Ravina Sage, the beauty mystic. Her mirror does not show reflections. It shows truth in mascara stains and powder trails. She sees what the cameras missed. Hexie LaRue, the conjurer. Keeper of Cordelia's breath and secrets. She speaks to the dead in the courtroom whispers and lets the spirits interrupt when they please. Captain Gladiola, Gladdy, ethereal storm, the river's daughter and its wrath. She pilots the truth through the fog, commanding the last ferry between denial and revelation. These are not ghosts. They are not metaphor. They are not fantasy. They are the voices of the other side of the lie. So when you see them interrupt a memory or a whisper through the contradiction or a crack in the seal on the story that you thought you knew, listen. Because while everyone else was selling you a tragedy wrapped in tiaras and talk show tears, they were living in its aftermath. And the morning orchid, she never really left. She is here, in the ledger, in the soil, in the final whisper you will never forget. Just remember, that not all friends are as they appear. Some may be wolves in sheep's clothing. Fancy, was that me? Or are you talking about? I don't even know who she's talking about. I can't even tell you. Bubble says, I will say there are appendices to sources, some of the stuff, but nothing is cited. So that's all I can contribute on that. We're never going to finish this. We're never, ever going to finish this. Okay. What they buried with the bulbs. A mini memorial to the erased, the redacted, and the rewritten truths buried under PR. This book has interruptions. Not glitches, not gimmicks, witnesses. The whole book is a fucking gimmick, you dumbass. Not glitches, not gimmicks, witnesses. We call them garden interpreters. They bloom where silence festered. They speak from the margins, the sidebars, and the overlooked appendices of a crime that never got its full telling. They grow in the soil where the morning orchid name was buried too soon, too cruelly, and without defense. You may meet them as flowers, crows, or whispers in the archive, but every one of them is rooted in something real. They are not figments, they are forensic. And always, always, there is one shadow, one scent, one present beneath every page. The morning orchid. You may not always see her, but you will feel her. She was the beginning. She is the thread. And when the final gavel drops, her voice will be the last to speak. Prologue scene 13. Broadcast. The people versus the performance. I don't know, into the weeds. I think y'all got into her skin. I think she's obsessing over y'all. My opinion, anyways. I'm not reading that part. More of the second header crap that makes no sense, that just confuses me. The lie was planted where the fairy tale blossomed in blood and the real victim was buried in silence, filed, feathered, and fiercely fused by the crows. They believe, it's almost like she has multiple titles throughout the book. They believed her because the lie felt safer than the truth. They followed her because the fairy tale was prettier than the facts. But that does not mean Cordelia was a monster. It just means no one bothered to check. Fancy, wasn't Cordelia your fake Facebook name? I may be wrong. I think it was. This act dismantles the origin story, the helpless child, the sick kid fantasy, the murder that was never tried. It does not begin with a mystery. It begins with a broadcast. It ends with a courtroom implosion and leaves the reader staring at an empty witness stand, asking why no one ever said in it. Broadcast scene 14, prologue scene 14, broadcast 1. The spotlight was the alibi. She did not emerge from her glass prison. She stepped into a stage. From the moment media opened her mouth, the spotlight obeyed. Not a trial, not an inquest, a campaign. A performance of pain, scripted, rehearsed, and perfectly cast. And the morning orchid, she did not just lose her life. She lost the right to defend it. Now the garden is calling for cross-examination. And the crows, we have been circling since 2015. You have not. Yes, Cordelia, that was Cordelia. There is Dee Dee. But on Facebook, she had a fake profile that she used to go into Natasha Cooper's group. And I want to say it was Cordelia. Started with a C. I might be wrong there. Don't hold me to that. But it sounds familiar. Well, now, ain't that just the most darling little lie you have ever... Oh, wait, I skipped a whole sentence. Prologue, scene 15, broadcast 2. The garden is open. Well, now, ain't that just the most darling little lie you ever did hear? Jit Media, Verlaine, Marius, Crowley. Didn't she change the name a while ago? Okay. The Nevermore's sweetheart murderer, spinning pity into power, rewriting the truth in pink ink and press tours. Oh, Fancy, you finally got to use your phrase, the sweetheart murderer. Remember when you were going to name your YouTube channel or the podcast America's Sweetheart Murderer? Remember? Yeah. Finally got to use it somewhere in print. Oh, go you. A murder repackaged as mercy, a mother branded a monster, and a media circuit wrapped in dollhouses, fairy bows, and discounted dignity. But let me ask you something, love. If the truth was so obvious, why did it take a crow to call it out? Because this was not good versus evil. It was performance versus proof. And the only thing sharper than her eyeliner was the silence that followed her script. They did not care about evidence. They cared about engagement. And when the Endless Story channel aired the premiere, the public did not ask questions. They clicked like. So I did what no one else dared. I opened the vault. I peeled back the petals. I brushed the dust off sealed files, stained timelines, and redacted truths. And I asked the question no one wanted on record. What if the morning orchid was not crazy? What if she was just inconvenient? What am I reading here? Got it. Keeping the line. Okay. Her fake country accent she likes to take on sometimes. Bubbles, her fake accents are awful. They really are. They really, really are. There's something here I wanted to comment on. I'm trying to find it again. Oh. Excuse me. So I did what no one else dared. I opened the vault. I peeled back the petals. I brushed the dust off sealed files, stained timelines, redacted truths, and I asked the question no one wanted on record. What if the morning orchid was not crazy? What if she was just inconvenient? Fancy, the other day, Millennial put up a video. And she sent it to Becca. I don't know if Becca's got to correct what she had wrong in the video that she had about the pricking of the finger and the blood and the urine and all that. And you ran with that. I mean, on your live, you were quick to go with that. And I mean, you were on there. Curious, are you going to come back and admit that you ran with something that wasn't completely true? I'm curious. I mean, I have to look back at some things to know my timelines a little bit better on this, because I don't know what part of Gypsy's book Gypsy was, where she was at in the writing process. When Kendall was on live, we had a live panel where Kendall talked about her story in what her mother did, and her mother pricking her finger and putting blood in the urine. So could Gypsy have stole that? It's possible. Look, I ain't taking that away from anybody, but it was in the book. It wasn't something she just all of a sudden said this year because it was on something else. Like, right, Millennial. Fancy should have known that, being the expert. Right. Oh, Bubbles, for sure. Speaking so highly of Becca all of a sudden, I think it's just a trap. She wants to push her in the freezer. She wants the following. I don't know that Becca has pulled away from people, so to speak. I think that what Morbid is no longer covering any of this and doing something totally different. So she's not over there. But she's, for as far as I can tell, still friends with Into the Weeds and Millennial and Toddy and others, I'm sure. I mean, I don't follow all that really closely. I mean, you ladies can sure to speak up in the chat. So, I mean, she's not friends with any of them anymore. They're all just doing their own different things. But I do find it funny that she was so, I mean, she was singing her praises, kind of like when she sang them on me. She'll turn quickly. All right. Sorry, let me continue. Darling, they didn't like that one bit. They called me bitter. They called me upset. They called me theatrical, which, let the record show, I most certainly am. Look at her admitting all that, and I don't have to call her out on it. Good for you. But I'm also right. Because when the story doesn't make sense, you don't need a new tragedy. You need the original transcript. And I've got everyone filed, flagged, fabulous. So here we are. The garden gates are open. The masks are slipping. The fairy tale is unraveling. And I'm not the only voice whispering anymore. I've got my sisters, Ruby, 5 steps ahead and 3 puffs of a hookah deep, and Violet, quiet as a candle, sharp as a steel subpoena, with one foot in the garden and the other in reality. Together we reopen the ledger, rip the ribbon off the myth, and come to bury the bedtime story in a grave it danced on. Welcome to the Garden of Silent Witnesses, darling, where the flowers bleed, where the truth calls, and where the prettiest lie you ever heard just ran out of petals. Filed by Miss Petunia Verity Coington, Garden Wire Archives, Tea and Testimony Division, filed, feathered, and fiercely fused by the crows. That print is even worse than the other print. Yeah, Ruby. Yeah, I find that weird too. Oh my God, how am I reading that page? So we have a table of contents. Can y'all see that? That's a table of contents. Okay, there's that page, and that page is a table of contents. I'm not going to read all of them. I'm just not. We don't need them. I want to show y'all. So, thank you. I had somebody message me that they were sending me some things. So they got some things off of my wish list. I can't get it out. So I got this silverware, y'all. Check this out. It's purple. Oh, it's lighting. It's purple handle, but it's black steel. These are prettier than I expected. Thank you to you all. I'm going to not well, that when I put it up, I'll show y'all. They sent me several gifts, but that one there I'll have to put up and show y'all because it's the bathroom stuff. But these are really pretty. So pretty. Taking a small break because I need a palette cleanser. My brain hurts trying to understand Fancy. It is in my community post, Bubbles. I don't think I've ever really put it out. I just put it on my community post. I thought the purple was lighter. Where's the fork? Oh, these are nice. I like these. What's a spoon look like? Not a big spoon. Which I probably have to order another set because I don't know that there's enough for the whole family. Let's look at the spoons. y'all. I don't know about this. I don't know what she's thinking. Seriously, don't know what she's thinking. Again, thank you so much, my friend, for sending me these. There's the spoon. I love these. Cubs will be happy he was wanting new silverware. We have a mix match cheap set that pieces we keep getting at like the dollar store or Walmart. I needed new stuff. I need new silverware for a while. And I got a really cool shelf for my cabinet that I've got to get put up. Okay. Let's get another 10, 15 minutes in this. What part can I get to where I can keep up? There's not really a stopping point. That's a lot. Okay, I'm gonna get these next 3 pages done, and then we'll stop and continue. I can do live tomorrow. My daughter's coming over to help me organize tomorrow. Oh, I get some shelves put up here and some things on the wall so that's not so bland behind me. Some water. Okay. Act 1, Scene 1, The Anatomy of a Manufactured Lie. Real mock trial. I gotta read this whatever the header thing you want to call it. Filed from Real Mock Trial Courtroom, Legal Preview, filed under Manufactured Victimhood, Media Manipulation, Narrative Malpractice. The Realm, Real Mock Trial. Presiding Prosecutor, Fancy Macelli. Narrative Analyst, Amy Mackey. With symbolic support from Absinthe Rosemary Hightop, the Hatter, to Tiffany Chrysalis, the Caterpillar. Filed in coordination with the Court of Public Opinion, where metaphor is permitted as evidence. Docket 1, People versus the Performance. Ink of Mourning, believe nothing you hear and only half of what you see, Edgar Allan Poe. Rebutting, My Time to Stand, Chapter 1, Kabah. Companion Podcast, Gathering of the Crows, Episode 1. Garden Broadcast 3, Trial by Eyelash Curl. Filed by Fancy Macelli, filed under Manufactured Victimhood, Media Manipulation, Narrative Malpractice. Lead Prosecutor Fancy Macelli, Narrative Analyst Amy Mackey. Why repeat that? Why repeat that? Well, and what's funny is there's like 2 or 3 table of contents. It's crazy. Yes, Trial by Eyelash Curl. That's what it says here. Things are not always as they appear. Sheriff Arnott, Springfield News Leader, June 16th, 2015. And I have always agreed with that in this case. Things are not always as they appear. The first crack in the facade. I asked Nick to kill my mom because I wanted to be free. Springfield Police Interrogation, June 2015. Ladies and gentlemen of the court, we begin where the lie began. Not in a hospital, not in a courtroom, but in a windowless interrogation room where the girl in the pink tutu didn't break down. She broke character. She didn't cry. She didn't tremble. She didn't mention abuse. She delivered a line, flat, precise, unapologetic. That was the first draft. And it was the last time the story left her lips unpolished. Because the moment Detective Hancock stepped out of the room, Gypsy folded. She dropped to the floor, pressed her ear to the door like a child hoping for an applause. And when she found lying on the floor, she didn't ask for her mother. She said, I'm very sick. I can't go to jail. I think what she said was, I need a lawyer. Okay, Bubbles. This was not fear. It was audition. It was an audition, a strategic pivot into pity, and it almost worked. But when the little girl facade began to fail, she morphed again, and she became Oliver Twist, asking, please, sir, I need a lawyer. Case claim. This chapter will show you what the cameras missed. That Gypsy was not trapped, that she was casting herself. That the narrative of abuse was not a revelation, it was a rebrand. And the people around her did not protect her, they packaged her. Her lawyer, Mike Stanfield, her stepmother, Christy Blanchard, her future media allies. They did not build a defense, they built a character. In these 3 acts, we will not just challenge Gypsy's story, we will indict the entire mythology. We will peel back every petal until the thorns show. The myth begins here, the cracks begin now, and the crows we have been circling since 2015. Filed by Fancy Macelli, prosecutor of the page. Prosecutor of the page? She did say, I have a lot of medical conditions. I can't be in jail or something like that. I have to go back and listen because it's been a while since I listened. I remember the whole, I need a lawyer when she was at the door. Oh, Lord, I just made that play. Don't do that. Okay. Yep, I did. I hit my Bluetooth thing. My new Bluetooth, I got these off TikTok and I absolutely love them. I've gotten like 4 different kinds and the batteries never last. And this one seems to be doing amazing, but it's so sensitive. Like I said, there's a lot of this one that I just have forgotten. And so I need to go back and listen to that. Oh, let's see. So the rest of this gets pretty heavy. There's a lot of it. I think we'll pick back up because I don't want to miss any of it and my head hurts. Amy says, it's at the end of the interrogation, I believe, when she said she didn't kill her mom. I need to go back and listen to it because it's been a while. That was a turn for us because at that time, all of us were still very pro-Gypsy. And we wanted her in something in that interrogation to say, you know, mom's making me be sick. We wanted her to say something. And there was just nothing. And it was kind of heartbreaking. Over the years, in listening to psychologists and looking at things, I understand now that people who are in these kinds of abusive situations don't know they're being abused. It happens all the time. It happens with women who in marriages, they don't understand they're being abused. So I can't fault Gypsy for not speaking up then. I don't think she was medically abused, but I do think she was abused psychologically, emotionally. Being taught to be a part of that con is abusive, period, in discussion. I don't think it was medical abuse. I don't. But however, that's a story for a whole other day. So thank you guys for being with me for the last 2 hours. We got farther than we did the other day. But as you can tell, it is very confusing and very hard to read. Oh, look, I have not read the back of the book. Let's read the back of the book and we'll close out with that. How's that? Cawing Out Truth, a true crime memoir roast of My Time to Stand as retold by the people she forgot to mention, creating the narrative, how Gypsy Rose, the murderer, her con artist family, her lawyer, and the media rewrote the truth in the murder of Dee Dee Blanchard. Truth doesn't always die quietly. Sometimes it's murdered, then buried beneath a carefully crafted narrative. Calling out the truth is a psychological reckoning they never wanted you to read. When the world fell under the spell of Gypsy Rose Blanchard, celebrating, there we go, her as a fragile imprisoned child turned inspirational survivor, no one paused to ask the most damning question of all. What if the story we were sold was a lie? From the courtroom to the cutting room floor, from sealed transcripts to FOIA files buried in boxes, investigative authors Fancy Macelli and Amy Mackey rip apart the popular tale of the martyrdom and the media redemption. This unflinching expose exposes the truth long buried beneath a sympathy, clickbait, and streaming deals. With nearly a decade of research and exclusive interviews, they dissect how Gypsy's own statements, letters, and medical records contradict the victim narrative, how her defense team planted false narratives through the media manipulation, how sealed power of attorney documents, surveillance footage, and untouched evidence raise disturbing new questions, and why Dee Dee Blanchard, a woman portrayed as a monster, was left without a voice in death. This is not just a book, it is a reckoning. with expanded case files, expert breakdowns, and psychological insights never seen in mainstream media. Cawing Out the Truth lays the foundation for its bold continuation, creating the narrative, a forensic breakdown of how Gypsy, her con artist family, her lawyer, and the media rewrote murder into martyrdom. Forget everything you think you know. This isn't about justice. It's about how we were all sold the lie and why we bought it. So again, is it nonfiction or is it a play? Is it this does not fit that at all. It just doesn't. It just doesn't. Oh, Lord, it makes me irritated. Sorry. Did it again. Okay. So I have my page marked. Didn't I? God, please tell me I did. I marked my page this time. We're going to pick it up again. Right. Well, it just doesn't, millennial. It's just insane. It doesn't match. What she just wrote right there does not fit what I just read. None of it. None of it. Confusing psychopath. Anyways, you guys have a great, it is hump day. Have a good week. I'm going to try to get back on here tomorrow. Or maybe tonight. Let's see what I've got errands to run. I've got a ton to do. I've got to get ready for market next weekend, and I am adding my fudge and marshmallows and pralines and divinity and peanut butter balls back into my booth because it's that season. And I've got to start making better money at markets than what I've been making. Have fun with chickens. Thank you. Yeah, I've got babies hatching. They're due this weekend. I've got this one little one by itself, and it's cold. It's getting cold. Like it's cold today. Like I'm in long sleeves and my heater is on. And we went from 80 to, y'all, it's cold. It's 60 degrees. I know you guys up north are thinking I'm crazy. I'm cold. So it's just, this weather's crazy. But I will get back on here as soon as I can so we can finish reading this. That way I can get this book over to Dawn so that she can do hers, and then Millennial and whoever else wants to go through it and do their own reactions to things. It is, I can't make sense of it, and I'm trying to help, guys, but I'm trying. So anyways, you guys have a great week. Be safe, and don't do anything I wouldn't do. And if you do, don't name it after me. Okay. Have a good one.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast, I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains that last, and to believe in